Hello and welcome to the South Bay Workforce Investment Board. Today you will be going over the application process for the Transitional Subsidized Employment Program. Please make sure to have your folder open and ready to follow the step-by-step application process, and do not forget to sign and date each page. You can also stop and replay this video as many times as needed to complete the application packet.
Hi, my name is Mario Rodriguez, and I work for the South Bay Workforce Investment Board, South Bay WIB. My contact information you can reach me at is on my cell phone at area code 323-836-9061. What I'm going to do right now is go over the application for the Transitional Subsidized Employment Program, TSE. So I'm going to go over the forms and how to fill those out. The first form is the application. So the application has all your contact information, personal information, and what's important about this form is that on the back it asks you for an email address. Really important that you give me your email address because that's what I'm going to use to send you job leads. You also need to make sure you sign and date the form. The next form is the new hire form, the new hire card. And what the new hire card, basically the information I need from you is to fill out the highlighted areas. I will take care of the rest of the form. The next form is a request for employment verification. I use this form to notify your gain worker that you're in the program and you started your job. That triggers transportation and child care. So this form is really important. What you need to do is fill out the top highlighted area. I will fill out the rest of the form for you. The next form is a client certification statement. This form you only need to fill it out if your address on your ID is not where you live now. So when your driver's license says that you live in, let's say, West Covina, but you stay in Pomona now, be sure you say, that's Mario Rodriguez, do not live in West Covina where my ID says my current address is, and then give me your current address information. The next form is the W-4 form. The W-4 form is what you're going to identify is how many deductions you want from your taxes. So what you need to do is fill out the whole form completely, the highlighted area, and on line number 5, which is highlighted, you're going to indicate the amount of people that you're going to claim on your taxes. For example, if it's just you and 2 children, then on line 5 you would put 3 people. So that's how many people I'm going to put on my taxes when I file my tax forms. The next form is the clothing request. The clothing request is the form that I'm going to send to your worker and to make sure that they have enough clothes for appropriate attire for your office or for your work site. The next form that I have for you is the employment of eligibility form, which the I-9, which states that you're eligible to work in the United States. You need to make sure you fill it out completely. Do not leave any blank spaces on the highlighted area. Your signature and today's date. A lot of people are putting their birth date on this line. It needs to be today's date. Also, you need to check off what your citizenship status is. The next form is Acknowledgement and Confidentiality Agreement. And it basically states that you understand that the South Bay WIB is your employer of record where you're getting paid from, not the work site where you're at. So for example, if I place you to work at a work site, they're not the people that are paying you. The South Bay WIB is where your check is coming from. The next form is complaint and resolution procedures. What this form is, in case you have a grievance to file against me or any other person, it goes over the proper process to file a complaint. Now, you don't need to file a complaint directly with my supervisor. You can also go straight to the county, the state, or the federal government. And the important thing you know about this is that no individual in the United States can be discriminated against based on your race, your color, religion, sex, national origin, age, disability, political affiliation or belief, your citizenship, or your participation in any program or activity. So basically, we cannot discriminate. On top of that, we also don't discriminate for retaliation. So for example, let's say you file a complaint, and then I find out that you filed a complaint against me. I can't kick you out of the program or get you fired afterwards just because you filed a complaint, or if you assisted somebody else in filing a complaint. And it's really important that you know what your rights are. On that form, there's a page. You keep all the paperwork that I give you, and I keep the part that you sign and date to verify that you were given the information about the grievance procedure. The next form is another confidentiality agreement form, and this one basically is notifying you that I am going to keep all your information and your file confidential and locked up. The next form is the UI data consent form, and this one you only need to fill out the highlighted areas, and this is just to track information about employment in the future when the program ends for you. The next form is the release of information. What this form allows me to do is to communicate back and forth between DPSS, the GAIN office, if you're in the DCFS program, or the EDD office. So it also lets me on the back, it's a place where you initial for your employers, so I can communicate back and forth with your work site or any other employers. This form is a release of information specifically only for employers. The reason I have you fill this out is because if I need to get information from your employer, we don't need to give them all the information about DPSS and all the other stuff. We would just use this form by itself. So be sure you fill it out, sign, and date this form. The next form that you're going to have is a check pickup policy. There's two forms that are the same. One of them is for you to sign and keep and take with you so you know what the policies are. The other one you sign and date and it stays in my form, in my file. The important thing about this is that you understand all the policies and procedures for filling out a timesheet. I'll highlight some of the important ones, but we're going to do a separate video to go over specifically how to handle and fill out the timesheet. The number one rule that's really important is that you sign and date all the information with the appropriate dates, and you do not use whiteout on any of the timesheet. If you use whiteout, I cannot accept it and you won't get paid. The third thing that's the most important about the timesheet is that if you make any mistakes when filling out your timesheet, be sure you just do a whole new timesheet before your supervisor signs it. Do not turn in a timesheet where it's scratched off or whited out or things are erased. So make sure that if you make a mistake, you fill out a whole new timesheet, and this goes over that procedure. The next form in your packet is the actual timesheet, and so on the video we'll go over how to fill out the timesheet, so I'm not going to go into it into detail right now, but the important thing that we want to emphasize the timesheet is that the information is filled out correctly as far as the time that you start and finish. If you work over 6 hours or more, you have to take a half-hour lunch break at least. The other thing is that you have to indicate on your timesheet whether you did or did not experience a work-related injury, you did or did not get hurt on the job. That's really important that gets filled out. Your supervisor needs to fill out the evaluation. You sign and date it, and your supervisor signs and dates it, and you print your name under the signature as well. The next form I'll go over when we're going over the timesheet, and that is the direct deposit form. You can request direct deposit your paycheck to go into your bank account, checking or savings. We do not do direct deposit to an EBT or debit card. The next form that we have in here is your payroll schedule. This goes over the payroll schedule for all of 2015. What's important on here is that it shows you what days your timesheets are due to us. So be sure that you turn your timesheet in on time or you risk not getting paid on the next pay date. Very important that you focus on your timesheet and when it's due. The last form that's in your packet is just for you to keep, and this helps you calculate the amount of hours you work. So for example, let's say you start at 7 and you get off at 4 and you take a 1-hour lunch, it tells you that's 8 hours. So that helps you calculate the amount of hours that you fill out. Once again, I want to welcome you to South Bay WIB to the Transitional Subsidized Employment Program. And I want to reinforce one thing. The purpose of this program is for you to get a permanent job. So it's really important that you are applying for jobs while you're in the program. Do not wait until your time's almost over to start applying, because by that time it may be too late. I am here to help you with your resume, with applications, with job leads, with interview prep, with anything that you may need in order for you to be successful. Thank you very much, and we hope you enjoy the way you're treated here with us in the TSE program in South Bay WIB. Thank you.